Kieran, how's things? Graham Spires, good evening. I'll give it a couple of minutes to see who else comes in, and I'll explain what's happening tonight. While I'm waiting, I realized the other day I never actually tell you what I'm vaping on. So I'm vaping on the Odin 250C Dovpo Vapor Cloud vaping bobbin, and this is the Asgard Mini with the 30mm beauty ring, and I changed my battery wraps to black, and it looks fucking sick as fuck. It's laggy, is it? John Coil, how's things? Stuart, how are you? Ryan, how are you all? Yeah, so Odin 250C with the Asgard Mini and that beauty ring. I don't normally like beauty rings, but that looks pretty good. And then my mouth-along, I basically carry like a cloud chucking device, and then I have a mouth-along. I always have a mouth-along on me. And this is the Easy Mod, not the DNA version, the regular 60-watt version, the DNA clone. It's nice. I ordered clear polished, but that is not clear polished. That is frosted. No one can tell me that's clear polished. It's a nice little mod, but it's not clear. The juice I use in that is from Joha Vape in the Dock, and that is gourmet classic wanted Cerberus, and it's cookie, tobacco, and vanilla, and I've been using that mouth-along vaping for God. Right. There's a few of these in there. The plan today is I had an order for custom aliens for Valhalla RDA, which is a fucking massive, humongous monster of an RDA. And so it's going to be a 10 wrap 4mm dual coil, and it is going to ohm out at 0.29 dual coil. It's going to be 5 cores of 28 gauge Canthal, 5 cores of 28 gauge Canthal wrapped with 36 gauge nichrome. If you're building series coils, Canthal is the way to go, because if you build with nichrome, you're going to blow your face off because the ramp up is too quick. So all series coils have their cores as Canthal to slow the ramp up. So that is the plan. 2 big monster aliens I'm going to build. My normal run for an alien is 20. I actually done one before I started, so just to show you. My normal run for, if I'm doing with the stuff for the website, is I will come out with a 20-inch piece. So that's exactly what I'm making tonight. That's a perfect 20-inch piece, which will get me 5 to 6 regular coils. But a 4mm 10 wrap, I'll get 2 coils out of that. That'll be it. So we'll get started. The chap that ordered them, his name is, I can't remember. The chap name is Thomas. I told him about the live, so hopefully he'll pop in at some stage and you can see his coil's been made. He's a member of League of Owners. It's an Irish vape Facebook group. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our decor. So because is the sound okay, lads? Am I lagging or anything? Are we good? 11 in the chat. Jesus. This is crazy. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a decor. Now, if you're making a 3-core alien, with, just say you're making a 3-core alien with 28 gauge Cantle, so 3 cores of 28 gauge Cantle, your decor is going to be made from one of those cores, so the same size wire. But tonight we're making a 5-core alien, so it's thicker. So the decor has to be thicker. So I can't use 28 gauge. I have to make the decor with a thicker wire. So if you're into coil building or starting coil building and wondering how you figure out what size of a decor to do for your alien, Google alien wrap calculator and that'll give you like an Excel sheet, and you just punch in how many wraps or how many cores you're using and the gauge of wire you're using, and that'll tell you, it'll automatically tell you what size your decor should be. Right, so yeah, so 24 gauge is the decor, and we're going to wrap that with 36 gauge nichrome. All of this will be twisted mess as well. If you're only learning how to build, you're a new builder, don't buy anarchist wire. Like, don't buy this stuff here. Is like, I'll show you. That's what you get for €15, probably like £12, 15 feet. Do not buy anarchist wire if you're starting to learn how to build. Buy cheap wire, the cheapest you can find, because you're going to make mistakes and you're going to run through wire, and it's just going to be a waste of money. So just until you're confident that you're not going to be making a shitload of mistakes, buy the cheap wire, to do fine. That's what I done when I started. Even the twisted messes wire that I use it retails for about £20 sterling for a reel or a spool, which is expensive. So you don't want to be making mistakes if you're spending that much money. ATC Vape Reviews, hello there. How are you doing? Mark H, hi. Can you hear that music in the background? Or is it too loud? Just let me know. I'm going to try and explain every step as detailed as I can. So I've made an L of my 24 gauge anarchist wire and put it into a groove in the chuck and tighten it in. When you're doing that, make sure it's centered. Otherwise, the core is going to start vibrating and it's a pain trying to get your clapped in straight. Alright, I'll clamp this in. 1 sec. Right. When you're making your decor, you want to make sure that you are running your bill in the reverse rotation that you're going to be wrapping your alien in. If you run it in the same rotation, it's not going to wrap properly and it's going to just be a mess. So run it. I like wrapping clockwise. It's just a habit. You can do it either way. It doesn't make any odds. but just don't. Make sure you do the opposite of what you're going to wrap. So I'm going to do my Clapton anti-clockwise. I would say don't buy no branded named wire. If it just says 10 meter N80, don't buy it. Make sure it's Vandy Vape or Crazy Wire. I don't know if Crazy Wire are still selling. I heard they were closing down. Yeah, you're right what you're saying, Kieran. Just get go for a brand that you know, but don't go for like really expensive stuff because you're just going to waste money when you're starting out. Right, we're going to. So take the end of your decal. I'll actually turn this. So take the end of your decal and wrap it around the L that you made. And spin your drill a few rotations to. After all the lecturing, I have it in the clockwise position now. There we go. Go again. Right. Round the L. And give it a few rotations till it's settled in. Go slow at the start. Once it's bedded in a couple of inches, you can just rip it then. Now this thing is too fast to rip at full speed because it runs at 18,000 revolutions per minute. Just think of it like a dual 2.5, not even 2.5, just over 2,000 revolutions. This thing does 18,000, so I never actually run at full speed because it's too quick. But so run slow at the start. Once you get a couple of inches and it's laying right, you can speed up to your preferred speed then. So just cut it off at the end. Just see coming there. Martin, how's things? Good to see you. It's not smoke. How are you? Wire Optimum in the USA are pretty cheap. Postage, £4. £4 to the UK. That's fucking great. Is that right? £4 to the UK. Jesus. Right. Thanks, Graham. The drill, if anyone, probably most of the guys had already, but the drill I have is a Fordham drill It's an American company, and it is originally made for jewelry making. It is. I have a good DeWalt drill that I've used a lot, and this is the DeWalt drill was 300 quid, and this is 80 quid. So it's like more than 3 times cheaper. And it's faster, it's smoother, it has a smaller chuck, which means it's easier to center your wire. It has a foot pedal, which is fucking amazing. So like, if I'm making a stagger fuse Clapton, instead of having a weight, like dropping a weight and then leaving it and then making your stagger fuse Clapton, I can literally hold the wire while I'm staggering something because I have my 2 hands free. And it's very handy. Dave, how's things? Dude, I made some giveaway strawberry. Outstanding vape. This just is the bomb. Right, so that's a Clapton done. I'll just pull that lead a bit longer so we can grab it. Right. So before you take your Clapton off, you want to loosen it a bit. Now you don't want to loosen it too much, otherwise it's going to deform the wraps. But you want to loosen enough so it'll slide off without snagging, because if it snags, your wraps aren't going to be clean. So put the drill back in the forward position. Well, for me, it's the forward position. There we go. And then run the drill for like 2 to 3 seconds until you can move it. Like at the minute there, I can't move it without damaging the wraps. And now it's moving. That's good. Right, snip the 36 gauge at the chuck, and then see, make sure it's sliding good. There we go. Yeah, it's good. And then cut it at the. I forgot to say when I was wrapping the Clapton, 90 degrees. And if it backs up on itself, if you're doing 90 degrees and it backs up on itself, reverse the drill, pull it straight, keep tension. Your fingers up and down, rub your fingers up and down, and it'll sort of straighten the wire out again. Keep tension and then go again. It'll fix any mistakes. If you're doing an alien, it's not going to. You're fucked basically. You're not going to be able to fix it. But with a Clapton or a fused Clapton, you can reverse the drill and fix the mistake. So that should slide off easy. So there's our decor ready to go. I'm going to try and use that macro lens less this time, because I feel like the last live I was just constantly moving the camera and it was just annoying. I'm sure it was annoying for you as well. I'll use the macro lens like sparingly. I'll use it to show you how much I've stretched the Clapton. I'll use it after I have it wrapped and show you. I'll show you a small section of the macro lens when I'm wrapping it, but I don't want to be moving the camera because it's a pain in the ass. Right, so the decor is done. So take your decor wire off because you're done with that now. And the next thing is to get your 5 cores prepped and sitting flat, flush, and ready to rock. So now, lengthwise, a sec. I'll move these over here a bit. Now, lengthwise for your cores, I actually have a measuring tape for that. No, I don't need a measure. Right. whatever length your cores are, the D core's roughly a third bigger. That's the way I work it anyway. So a third bigger. So my D core, I'm not getting the measuring tape out, but my D core is this length, so my cores are going to be this length. I basically walk to the end of my mat, and then I walk to just like the middle block of this table, and I walk to here. I'm not measuring it, and I just basically go by the length of the on the table. But it's a third bigger, roughly. That's the crack. So if your cores are 20 inches, your D core is going to be 30 inches. Right. So when you're cutting your cores, you can cut them individually, put an L in them, put them into the chuck, grab pliers, hold them at the pliers, run the drill for like a second, and that will straighten. You're screwed if you get a new table. Correct. So you can do that, but that takes far too much time. I can't be asked with that quick. So what I do is grab your pliers, pull whatever length you need roughly, and then give it a squeeze or give it a stretch, and just stretch it until you feel the wire physically stretch a tiny bit and then stop, and that's going to be enough. Once you can feel it moving slightly, it's done. It's straight. Right, so that's 2. Three. You can imagine how long this would take, like a 5-core alien into the drill, tighten the chuck, grab the ends, run the drill, take it out of the drill. By the time you have one done, you have these 5 made up already. Right, it's 4. Five. Right. 5 pieces. Right. Now there's a few ways you can insert into the chuck. Now you can make a triangle, like a 5-core will be like 2, 2, 1. And then insert it into the 3 gaps in the chuck. Insert it into the 3 gaps in the chuck and tighten it down. But the fact that you've got like 2 here and 1 here, the 1 has a tendency to pull out then because it's not being compressed enough as the other 2 leads. So what I do is, if it's a 3-core, it's fine because they're all going to be compressed the same amount. If it is more than a 3-core, so 4-core and up, I will glue the ends. So grab a pair of pliers or nylon pliers and then twist the ends. Once you're holding here, like these are still coming out flat. You're not damaging past that pliers. You're not damaging it. It's coming out perfectly flat. But you're making you're wrapping the 5 cores around each other to make something that will sit nice in the middle of the chuck. And there we go. And then I'll glue that end just to be 100%. Okay, another question, really. On average, how long would you say it takes for you to make a set of coils? It's very dependent on what the coil is. So if you go on the Proper Coils website, propercoils.com, if you go on the Proper Coils website, you'll notice that the fused claptons are cheaper than the aliens, and one of the reasons is the fused claptons are a lot quicker to make, because the length of time it took me to make that clapton, I would make the same length in fused clapton, more or less. The only extra bit of work you have to do with a fused clapton is, instead of one, it's obviously two or more. So you're running your core wire through the swivels and back again, and putting two leads into the chuck. But other than that, it's the same speed as making a clapton. But then you have an alien are making the clapton. You're taking the clapton off. You're stretching the clapton. You're prepping your wires. You're making sure, like, there's a lot more work in an alien. Let's try it out. So that's why you see, like, I've never seen a coil builder online selling like fused claptons the same as sell aliens, because just time. Like, time is for a coil builder, time is 90% of the price, or not 90% of the price, probably like 60% anyway. Definitely 60% is how long it takes to make. A stagger fused clapton would be quicker than an alien. A frame staple or a Fralian would be longer than an alien time wise. A frame staple. You don't have to decore. Frame staple. A frame staple is probably slightly quicker than an alien, but there's not much in it. I do, like, when I'm doing runs for the website, I'll do long runs, which is why this is handy as well. I can do like 30-inch piece, like there before I turn on the live. That wasn't even a long run. That's 20 inches, so I'll get 5 coils out of that. And I've done that in like 5 minutes. No, not 5 minutes, 20 minutes. 15-20 minutes it'll get a 20-inch run done. I need to glue mine until I bought the jeweler's hand clamp. The jeweler's hand clamp. I have something. I know what you're talking about. It's the clamp that's flat, and it'll close down in the cores to keep them flat. Am I right? Yeah. I have something like that. I bought it from 3D Vape in Russia. Their 3D print company. Right. So I have my 5 cores in. I have them coming out flat. No, I'll leave the camera on. So I have my 5 cores in, they're coming out flat. Now, to ensure they come out flat, I will use one of these. This is from the same company as that jewelry hand clamp you were talking about. It is spring-loaded clamp, and it's flat, so it'll keep your cores flat. So what I will do is I put one at the very start, so I know that anything past that, they're perfectly flat. So that's my start, and then I run my fingers down and make sure everything is perfectly flat. Now the end, the last inch or two, I don't really give a shit, to be honest with you, whether they're perfect, because I'm going to be making my U and twisting that, so it's going to get a bit jacked up anyway. Yeah, so run your fingers down till the last inch and a half, and then put on your swivel, make a U shape, and twist it 3 or 4 times. And that is us. Now, the next thing is to pull a bit of tension until the slack is gone. Now, don't go crazy and you're going to put too much pressure on the swivels. So, like, it's literally like that much. So you're not yanking on it, but just enough pressure so there's still a bit of give in that, so that the 5 sits straight, and then clamp it down. Right. So I'm nearly prepped. So my 5 cores are coming out straight, and they are sort of straight here. So what I need to do is get another C-clamp. Now, the way I open my C-clamps is I have one at the very start, so anything this side of that is no good, but anything to the left of that, my left, is good wire. So that's going to be the start of my good wire. And then about 2 to 3 inches after that, I'm going to place another C-clamp. Yeah, bitch. Right, so that's going to be my start, and then after that is just one more C-clamp, and I'll start it here and I'll run it down until the end, so I know, regardless of a couple of twists and not the 5 wires together, I know it's going to be straight away. So I'll run that down and make sure. Now what you might have to do is twist, get your swivels and twist with the turn, just so you know when you get to the end, as far as this C-clamp is, all your wire is straight. Now it's going to twist slightly when I let it go. It's going to like twist, half twist. But I know if I run my fingers down, there's no overlapping and everything's straight. Right, so that's the prep done. We're ready to wrap the alien. Now, so this is 20 inches of a run. If I get a good go at it and there's no jacked up bits, I'd have loads. I'd have like, I won't have 3. I might have 3. I don't know. 1, 2. No, I'm not going to have 3. I'll have loads for 2 anyway. Right, so the next thing is to stretch my alien. Clamp. What I use is, I use one of these, and they're like, you'll get them in a hardware store for like less than £5. Little plastic clamp, and I clamp it to the table. So this is clamped to the table, and I'll stretch it as much as I need. And the stretching thing is, as I said in the series Aliens I done 2 or 3 videos ago, the stretch is a feel thing, and it's going to take a bit of practice. The way I know now exactly how much to stretch it, just from practice. If you're starting out and you're making your alien and it's banking up on itself a lot, you haven't stretched enough. That's the fix for it. And if it's wrapping, but it's not wrapping tight for you, and the gaps are all over the place, which you will get when you're starting out, you've stretched it too much. So you need to find the middle ground. If you do it enough, you're going to know how much you're cutting your lengths, and once you know how much you're cutting your lengths and then you practice your stretching a few times, you'll get the sweet spot and just stay there basically. So, right, I'll stretch this and I will be back in a second. Rightio. Yeah, I'll put the micro lens on and I'll show you how much it's stretched. So that's how much it's stretched. Okay. Where are we? Now, right, to start this, what I do is, because it's obviously wavy and stuff, it's not a straight wire, a couple of rotations around behind the C-clamp and it will secure itself. So grab the end and I'll wrap it around twice just. And then I'll set it in the groove of the C-clamp. And then I'll give it a small spin, get it started. Now I might bring the camera down. This is the bit I don't like. Let me see. Am I even going to reach? Right, I'm not far enough down. I just stretch far enough. What I'll do is I'll leave it there until I get to here, and then I'll stick the micro lens on, so you can see the alien wrapping close up. So I'll get down to use as quick as I can. As I'm wrapping, as soon as I get close to the first C-clamp, I'll move that down 2 to 3 inches. I'll go again. So far, so good. I should have enough for one there, yeah. So I'll get the macro lens now and I'll see. I'll try and give us a good view of the wrapping. Lads, just what I have 90. I need these 90s. Don't forget to give the thumbs up. This is a pain in the ass. Right, it's not too bad there. Right, lads, we're all good so far. So, I think I even have enough at the minute for the 2 coils. So we'll keep going at the end anyway. No point wasting good wire. The drills are on eBay. The drills on eBay. I got my drill. I got the Fordham drill directly from the Fordham company, but I'm sure they are on eBay. They're probably on Amazon as well. Like €80. So what's if that's paying what £70, £75? It's for nothing. And I rarely use my DeWalt's that I spent £300 on there. Even the fact that it's a lot quieter for me, because I'm not waking up the kids. Right, lads, that is the full run. Right, I'll give you a close up now of the final. Come on, stop buffering. Yeah, pretty good. Right. Get you back in the spot. Right. That was the easy bit. Yeah. We'll see what this wrapping is going to be like. Because it's not often I wrap formula coils. I've done a few. The Valhalla RDA must be like on sale somewhere, because I've had 4 different customers looking for Valhalla, like aliens, fuse clappings. Mick from the Late Night Vape Show, I made him a set for his Stormbreaker, which is a Stormbreaker. Is it the Stormbreaker or the Rule Breaker? I think it's the Stormbreaker. That's the triple series 0.6. I said a 0.6. I think there were 11 wraps, fuse clappings. And then I had 3 other guys, not including tonight's guy, looking for series coils for the Valhalla RDA, so it must be selling well. Somewhat. Right, so we're going to cut these off. I'm going to turn that music down, it's annoying me. Right, there we go. Right, it's a Chinese thing, Stuart. Don't know how that spelling came out. Excuse me. Those clamps make your wire bounce. They do, but I can manage it. It's manageable. There's a little bit of weight in them, I know what you mean. Right, so what I do with all my coils that I make, I'll put a U shape on the end, so the wrap doesn't slide off, and I'll give it a squeeze. Right, what happened to these bad boys? I think I'll just cut in half because I'm not going to get 3 out of it anyway. So I'll cut this in half and then I'll squeeze the ends again, and then we will make a 10 wrap 4mm series alien. Right, 4mm bit. So there we go. Now, hopefully, I get these nice and tight, neat. Index finger, thumb, U shape, and try and keep all the wraps tight, like a rubbing along the edge of it. It's 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I will go an extra bit. So it's a bit springy. And try and get my 90 and then pull my 90 back to level the legs. So there is my 90 there. I'll leave a bit of length in these legs, well, a couple of centimeters anyway, because RDA is, there's a lot of room in that RDA to fill. Just going to check, see is everything level. Has anyone in chat not used or tried Proper Coils yet? Right, aqua lens. Martin has indeed. There we go, that's the first one done. And second one. I'll leave a longer lead on this one. Give me a bit to play with. Right. U-shape. Start it nice and tight. Now these, after I made the length, I forgot to say that if there's twists, I'll show you after this, but if there's twists, hold your drill, hold the wire with your pliers one end, run the drill in reverse slowly, and it will pull the twist out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 90 again, and then I'll bend one leg to match the other one. I'm only new to RBA, RDA, Destiny, Recurve. Destiny's a savage RDA, it's brilliant. Did you Recurve Dual? Very good as well. I'll cut these to length, same length, and I will show the two of them together. Size of that, even flat cap, you have, I'm right in saying you have a Valhalla. I might have just a thing for you. 10 reps. 10 reps. 0.29. You traded for the Vapor SO PM30, mother of God. You done well there. That's some deal. There we go, lads. 10 reps. 10 reps. 5 core aliens. 5 cores of 28 and 26 micron on the outside. And that is me. That is me. That was nearly an hour. Not too bad. I feel like that was a better. I don't know what you think, but I feel like that was better that I wasn't moving the camera around constantly. And I was talking more and there was less quiet periods, which is better, I think. I think that was better. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to head off and get them packaged and ready for the post in the morning. Thanks for everyone for coming. I had a solid 10 the whole way through, which is like brilliant. That's fantastic. I'm getting there. Far better, less jumpy. Good. Thanks, Kieran. Flat Cap, thanks for jumping in. Kieran, thanks for watching. You're a ledge. John O'Connell, thanks for popping in. Lynn, lovely to see you. Martin, Daredevil, thanks a million for popping in. Graham Spears, who else have we got here? Stuart Ayrton, of course, every live, brilliant. Thanks very much. Dave Flowers, It's Not Smoke, thanks for popping in. Ryan Boyce, ATC Vape Reviews, thanks for coming in. Mark H, did I say your name already? I don't know. That is, isn't that what that is? Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching, and I will probably do one next week at some stage. I don't know when. I'll throw it around Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff as early as possible. See you. Thanks a bunch for watching.